Morning, good afternoon everybody, welcome to our live stream. My name's Matthew, I'm the evangelist for Machinations, and today with me is Cesar. Say hello, Cesar.
Hello everyone.
So today we're here to answer any questions that anybody has about Machinations, and to if you're stuck on something, you're not quite sure how something works, please do drop that into the chat and we'll make sure to try and answer any questions that you have. We're also going to be playing about today, we thought we'd be looking at a merge game type of mechanic. So Cesar, I know you've been playing a lot of merge games recently. It's a really interesting puzzle style game. It's in that kind of genre, but they're growing rapidly, so there's a huge number of merge games coming out, so we thought it'd make an interesting one for us to look at today.
Yeah, definitely a growing genre. I would place it in the puzzle category, yeah, unless they have a category of their own now. While the basic loop of the game is quite simple, you merge inferior items into a superior item, which you then merge further into an even better item. Different games have different approaches for this, and it can become every game can have its own unique style, so to speak.
Nice. So let's get into it and see what we can come up with.
Yeah.
So I'll stop this, my countdown Machinations. Let's create a new one. Always with my sticky capital letters.
Fingers.
Perfect. So I call it live stream merge game.
Yep.
So how would you start to approach this then, Cesar?
Well, the first question, since as you said, I've played a bunch of merge games, is so the core mechanic is, as I said, you take items of the same type, you merge them together, and you get the same item but a better one. The first question is if it's a merge game where you merge 3 items into a better one or 2 items into a better one, because I've played both kinds. So it's kind of important in the economy, I guess, because if you need 3 items for an upgrade, you're going to need to give the player more items.
That's true. So what do you fancy? Let's do 3 items.
Well, statistically, I played more games with 3 items, so let's do 3 items.
Do 3. So I guess the core of this is really quite simple in the fact it's a pool. We're going to have a 3 on there, and that becomes one of the next item.
Yes.
And obviously we're going to make sure to hit the automatic pull all on those, as I often forget. And effectively that just repeats and repeats.
Yes, until they reach a maximum.
How many?
I mean, each of those items, it depends. I've seen level 5 as maximum. I've seen level 14 as maximum. Each item has a different ceiling, so it's kind of up to us to determine.
Nice.
One interesting aspect of those of some of these merge games, because there are ones that act like levels. So you enter a level, you have the objective of getting a certain item, you have to merge a bunch of items to get it, obviously, and then you complete the level and you move to the next one. There are games where you have sort of a space where you can build, right, and you can merge items there. So you only kind of play in that space. So managing space is also important, because if you have a lot of low quality items, they're gonna clutter up your remaining space. So basically you're gonna run out of space at some point, so you're not gonna be able to upgrade, or you'll be forced to upgrade. So I think we should also have a system where our board is limited.
Nice, I like that. One of the things I know that Merge Mansion has is this one of the game mechanics that they have, which is your board starts off quite small, and in Merge Mansion that's kind of explained away by there being junk in the way and you have to merge it to clear it. But it's a really interesting mechanic because it means that your board effectively grows as you progress through the game.
Yes,
it's not only junk.
It's not only Merge Mansion. The other games do this as well, because since we're talking about an exponential increase in needing resources, at some point you're going to need let's say 128 level 1 resources to get to level whatever it is. So you obviously need space, a lot of space. So as you do progress, you are going to need more and more space. If we are going to do Merge Mansion has 2 items I'm upgrading into the next one, not 3. Just saying.
That's true. But just in terms of the fact that the board gradually gets bigger, I think is a...
Yes, it's a recurring mechanic. Yeah.
Interesting mechanic, and kind of controls it slightly. So what I've done is I've just built a massive chain of pools and converters. Once you have 3 resources in any of these pools, goes through the converter into the next level item. So once we've got 3 level 1s, it becomes 1 level 2. Once we've got 3 level 2s, it becomes 1 level 3, and so on and so forth. And actually, what might be fun is I could just stick an end condition on that M1. Let's show that in the chart. Let's see if we have 9 levels receiving one level 1 resource each step. How long does that take to get a?
Well, obviously not 100 steps. It's gonna take 3 to the power of 3 to the power of 9. It's gonna take way longer than 500.
Longer than 500.
A lot longer than 500. I think it's a lot longer than 1000 as well.
Nice. So I think 9 levels should be enough for us for this.
Yeah, well, in your case here, so since we're doing comparisons to Merge Mansion, you are kind of assuming that the player only gets one level 1 material per step, which is untrue because there are points where you get showered, like you get 5 of them per step, or you get a level 2 one, or you get a level 3 one from the start, which obviously helps skipping a lot of steps.
Oh, I think it's more than 1,000 steps.
It needs a lot more.
So
I can do the math.
What's the math on that then?
3 to the power of 9.
Oof. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're getting into tens of billions territory. So yeah.
Okay, nice. So let's do so we can keep that for now.
Yeah.
Let's see how long. Let's keep 9. Right, so what do we do next? Now we've got our straight flow. And if you're in the chat, if you're watching the stream, please do say hello in the chat and let us know you're here.
Yep. I see Jonathan is typing on Discord.
Oh.
You can type on the YouTube channel. It's easier. I have the YouTube up, so I'm reading there more easily. He did the math for us, by the way.
Oh, nice. Oh. 19,000. Well, we can watch it go to 19,000. I'm going to.
Yeah, we can do 19,000, I guess, but it's kind of pointless.
So, what's our next step? We've got this one. Is there just one thing to merge, or presumably you end up with a few of these different things in a merge game? It's not just one item to merge.
You have a bunch of them, a bunch of different ones, yeah. And one nice aspect that I see in Merge Mansion, I've seen it in other games as well, but since we're comparing it to Merge Mansion, let's stick to that. When you receive experience, because you have a level and you receive coins, which you can use to buy stuff, you have the option of getting them on the spot, or you can save them and merge them into higher experience. Like they look like those stars, and they are small 1 experience stars. You can merge 2 of them into 3 experience. You can merge 2 of those into 8 experience, so the experience gain is going to be bigger than just getting them individually. So you can choose to hold your experience, grow it to the maximum level, and then swallow it all at once.
How do we want to build that inside Machinations?
Well, first of all, the experience and the coins in the game have 5 levels on, so the maximum level is 5. We can't go beyond that. I'm not entirely sure how you gain experience. I'm pretty sure you gain experience when you upgrade an item over a certain level. Like I think from level 4 forward, whenever you upgrade a level 4 item, whichever it is, you receive 1 experience. I think that's how you earn them.
And is that just like that's an item that you receive, is it?
It's an item on the board, like the other items, yeah. It's basically. I mean, you can just put it into the. Yeah, I guess, yeah. You can trigger it with a level 4, let's say, for instance. Though you will have to trigger it for every other level after level 4, because you get experience for those as well.
Nice.
and they give you 1 experience. I don't think they give you coins. I'm pretty sure they only give experience.
Well, we're not aiming just to fully replicate Merge Mansion, so let's have a think about how do we want to do it in our game.
I will use a comparison here again. Actually, I've seen this in all of the games that I've played. The fact that there are points in the game where you can get chests, like for completing quests, for leveling up, and those chests, when you open them, they give you a bunch of random materials just thrown out. A fixed number of random materials, like 6 of them, let's say. I wouldn't use a source for each of them. You can trigger the same one, I think.
Only reason I thought I'd do these as separate.
Yeah, because they might trigger at the same time, right?
Yeah.
More of them.
So just in case something happens and you end up triggering, you convert multiples in one step. It'll then mean you'll end up with.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Missing out on some rewards. So if you're watching, the reason I'm doing this is, say for example, something happened and you upgraded from level 3 to level 4, so you wanted to trigger your experience, but at the same time somehow you received a level 7 item and you went from 7 to 8, where you'd want to receive your experience from level 8. Also, it could be different amounts of experience that you're gaining. Are we just doing that for experience?
Just a second, because I see a question. Do the 6 items in the chest contribute to the lower level elements that can then be merged again? 6 items contribute to the lower level element. Yes. Yes, they basically generate, let's say 6 item 1 of level 1, or 3 item 1 of level 1 and 3 item 2 of level 1. They basically throw items on the board of various levels. They can be level 2, they can be level 3, depending on the box. Obviously, some boxes are better than others. Some boxes give you 12 materials instead of 6. Some boxes give you 20. Yeah, they basically give you materials that can then be merged into better materials on the spot. So they are not a waste of space, so to speak. They don't clutter your board.
So I'm just going to delete this bottom one for a moment. Actually connecting those up. How much experience are we going to give? Is it going to ramp with each level?
I don't think so. I think it's 1 at every. I can't recall getting more than 1. So I mean, we can do it so it gives more if we want.
I would just do it 1, 2, 3, 4 to start
Yeah,
off
okay.
with.
Yeah, I'll change them.
You're going to change them?
Yeah.
So obviously Cesar and I are using our live editing feature, so we're both inside the same model.
It's a lot less painful, yeah.
Although his little label pills are not quite perfectly lined up. So I just have to go through. We need a feature. I put it in as a feature request so that you can align all the little pills.
You should be thankful that I even moved them, because if we weren't streaming right now, I would just leave them on the upper arrow and just.
You've got to have the little pills all lined up.
And I would put experience back into level 1, let's say. Nice. Although if they do give more experience, they could start as level 2 items.
Well, actually, what I was thinking is what we could do is we could make that automatic push any, fire that into a gate. I'm just going to move this a little bit. And randomize where it goes. So it could be level 1. could be level 2. We could do level 3 as well. So, I don't know why I've just now pulled those from there. What do you think?
I'm not sure, because let's say you generate a level 6 item and you get 3 experience, right?
Yeah.
That 3 experience is gonna have a chance to be split up into 3 level 3 experiences.
Yeah, I like that.
When I was talking the fact that you get experience, I mean, it's our game and we can do whatever we want. But just saying, I was talking when I was talking about the fact that you get experience, 1, 2, or 3. I meant exactly 1, 2, or 3 points worth of experience.
Oh, I see. So what we could do is keep. You're right. Keep these at 1, and randomize where they go. Or does that break everything, do you think?
No. We've got a level 2. It's gonna take some time.
So just for a moment, I made this automatic source. I did a D3 with a D2 interval, just to make it slightly more random how many of these items the player is receiving. You got another level 2. How many steps are we at? Let's do 100 steps. Speed up our play. Let's keep track of no. And we've got level 3 item.
Yeah.
What's the experience going to? Is this just another item?
Just a second.
So the only real difference between these different flows.
Jonathan is typing on Discord, but nobody can see his messages except.
That's right. I'll read it out.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think it's the difference
It
between.
would be helpful if he typed straight on YouTube so everyone can see. Because the questions are pretty good.
I think I missed the difference between the upper 2 and the bottom game flows. You're right, we haven't really explained it. What I did is I created this bottom flow for our first item type in the merge game. So the player's going to collect these items and they're going to merge them, and they're gradually going to become higher and higher levels. Here we kind of created a copy of these, and this one was going to be our experience flow. Is that right, Cesar?
Yes.
Perfect. And I'm not quite sure about this mechanic, so I'm going to move it up here. It's just more of a copy, so I had one spare if I needed it. Does the experience still go through this merge type mechanic? So you think that's literally when you create a level 4 item, it spawns a experience item?
Yes, and you can merge those together, yes, into better ones.
Nice. And then what do you do, like, once it gets level 5? Is there a drain for these?
You can, yeah, or transform it into player experience. Like you have stored experience, which is on the board, right? Mm-hmm. That you don't actually have in your level progression, but you can tap on it to receive it anytime. And you have the experience that's actually counting towards your next level. So when you reach the maximum level, since there's no point in keeping it on the board anymore, you can drain it and receive it as actually owned experience.
Nice. So I guess the for that we need to think about another area. I'm going to put it down here. I'll put it top right here somewhere.
It's not really necessary to hold out until you have full experience, right? You can choose to. I mean, I never did because I'm weirdo, but you can choose to get it earlier if you want to. You don't have to wait until it's at the maximum level. it depends on what you need. If you're close to getting a level up, you can skip some merging, right, and just get the level on the spot.
Does the player then receive direct experience points?
Yes, exactly.
From every time they merge?
No, they receive experience straight from experience points.
Okay.
And you also have quests, and you receive experience from those.
Okay.
Quests are simple. They are basically merge one level 3 item 1, something like that. I mean, it's basic as it gets.
Okay, I'm going to put this here. Call this quests. So what do we need to do next?
Well, either do the quests or there's another thing that is going to make this way more complicated than it is right now. And I'm not sure if our game should have it or not, because not all of the games have it. It's only in Merge Mesh I saw this. It's where you have so in the garage, let's call it the garage, where you merge your items, you have items that you can merge and items that have dust settled on them. And those items that have dust on them, you can't drag them around to merge them. You have to merge them with an item that does not have dust on it. So those items effectively take space in your garage until you merge them together with an available item. So you have available items and unavailable items. But honestly, Merge Mansion is the only game where I saw this mechanic. I'm not sure if it's worth pursuing.
Oh, so I guess one of the things is with this, because there's often some kind of limitation on how many items you can have on your board to merge, or the area,
Yes.
or the map, or whatever, however you want to describe it. And so there's a couple of ways to do that. Oh, great. Jonathan's found the YouTube chat for you, Cesar.
Yay.
So, first one is, I guess we'd need to count how many objects we've got in total across all of our items.
Yeah. You want to simulate capacity. Yeah.
So for that, I'm thinking it's going to have to be a register. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create me a new layer, sorry. Just because I think it's going to get messy. And so to avoid it being messy,
I'm glad that you understood that it's going to get a bit crowded in here.
So I've just created a new layer. I've given it the name Space Count, and making sure that it's the highlighted one, it's the blue one as I go through and adding these extra layers. So what Cesar's just doing is I've created a register and now adding in the A, B, C, D.
I think we should add, because we're going to have, I mean, depending on how many different items we want to make, I don't think we want to make too many items for today's video. I would advise naming them A1, A2, A3, just so we know it's easier to track rather than having ABC.
Thinking is setting one of these, a register up to count each item type, and then
we can do that as well. If we do it like that, then yeah, we can do ABCD.
Yeah, just to make it easier. And I just avoid E, so I'm going to make that F. So here I'm now going to do A plus B plus C plus D plus F. And that's just going to count those up. And then I can drop in another register somewhere. I'll pop it there for now. And pull one in from each. Let's call that A plus B. Do you want me to help you with your state connections?
Getting there. You can do more. It's fine. Also avoid the I's. So after H, J always comes next. There shouldn't be any problems if you use EORI. We're just not using them because there was a time where E and I would be treated as mathematical constants, and it would screw up the calculations, and we kind of have PTSD. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think you can safely use them, but it's just a habit of ours at this point.
How many letters are you going to? J, K?
I think K is the last one, right?
J's enough?
K is the last one,
K.
I think. Yeah.
Perfect.
I think we both edited the same. Okay, we both edited that register at the same time because I had a different formula on my screen. You don't have B in there?
I'll add it. Nice.
Yeah.
So now that we've got a count, I guess this will impact whether or not a player can receive new items to be merged. How big a board do you think we should have?
Not mention. I think the board there is 9x7. I think it's 63 tiles at the beginning. Other games have more, and other games have less. You start with a board of, I don't know, 5x6, and you grow it quickly. So it really depends. I think 7x7 is fine. Or even less, 6x6, I don't know.
So quick question. We've got our experience blow.
Yeah.
Here, which goes up to level 5.
Yeah.
Presumably they become experience points for us to level up.
Yes.
So we need a converter out of each of these.
Yes.
Nice.
You are correct. I want to see how you arrange them first, and then I'll start as well.
So I'm going to make these passive, but pull all.
Fair enough. Make them interactive even?
Yeah.
Just so if we feel like it, we can see how it is.
That's a good plan. Is it still super hot over in Romania?
35 degrees right now. That's what my laptop tells me.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm telling you, when I'm on camera right now, that's the only reason I'm wearing a shirt at the moment.
Well, I appreciate you wearing a shirt today, Chester.
Yeah.
Do we need to think about how many points?
I can tell you how many points they have in Merge Mansion.
Well,
it was 37 degrees here an hour ago. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're in this together.
Wow. Malta. For some reason at the moment, I'm getting loads of adverts to visit Malta. And it looks fantastic and I really want to go. So, I know, 37 degrees when you're sitting next to a pool with a nice cool drink sounds very nice. Probably not while you're working in a hot office though.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, so about the cost, if we want to do them by ourselves, the main rule here is that level 2 should be worth more than 3 level 1s, right? Because otherwise there's no incentive to merge.
Yeah. So if the first one was 8,
it's a bit overkill, right? If level 1 is 1, if we leave level 1 at 1 experience, level 2 can be 5, maybe 6. 8 is a lot. 8 is a lot. 8 is a lot.
5? 8 is a lot. 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 8 is a lot
Yeah, why not?
And then 3 times 18, so 30, 40,
54,
54, 60.
60, yeah. And 180 should be 192. I don't know.
I like it.
Yeah.
That looks good. So there's a small incentive for upgrading, but not a massive,
Yeah.
not something that's going to break our economy. And we can work out the leveling up mechanic shortly.
It should be, yeah. I don't know about the formula, but it should be bigger for every level. So
Yeah. You know what? I'm
not
just going
sure
to do
if,
something super silly. And
yeah,
just
exactly. Not sure if it should be exponential. I don't think it's required.
add 100. Start with 100 and then add 100 each time.
Yep.
Nice. So we're counting how many objects the player's receiving. We're tracking a player receiving experience once they start to merge items level 4 and above, which will either give them a level 1, 2, or 3 experience object, which the player can then either merge up to level 5. So actually, I'm going to make that level 5 one automatic.
Yeah, correct.
And pull all, just because if a player gets there, there's no point holding it.
They don't need, I mean, just a disclaimer here. It's always safe to have pull all, but in this case, it's not needed because you only pull the one resource. So
That's very true.
but to keep it safe, I like Matthew's approach to always put pull all on your converters. Better safe than sorry.
Nice. So what's up next? How should
I
we?
think the inventory, the space, not the inventory, the space that you have,
Yeah.
and the limit of the space, and the fact that if you reach that limit, you can no longer gain items,
You know
right?
what I
Until
think
you merge.
might be fun is to connect the level, and each level gives you more space.
That can be a simple mechanic, yeah. I like it.
Nice. So let's call this. I'm going to create a pool. Space on the board. And have a register that's going to look at.
So the E plus B register is counting how many spaces are occupied, right?
That's correct. What I was
Yeah.
going to do is, because we've built that with a register there,
Yep.
this means that our common thing we do almost every stream, which is then at which point do we start duplicating these?
Mass producing, yeah.
It means that actually we've got that already set up so that we can just copy that whole piece, pull in one more state connection into here, and voila, we've scaled up our number of items that they're going through the merge, or different items that we have, just to make scaling up nice and easy.
Sure. I think it's safe to scale items at this point.
Well, should we?
I don't think there's anything we need to add to them, right?
Well, the only other thing is we've got this mechanic where at the moment we've just got an automatic source firing in, and we've got it firing in D3 objects every D2, so it's kind of randomizing how often they come slightly, not massively, and a slight variation on how many. But we can think about
Yeah.
whether or not we want that.
Well, usually it's not like you don't really receive items passively, right? You have those boxes or containers, and you have to open them to receive them, right? And you receive them every so often, those containers. So, so it's not really you getting passive materials, it's you being there, opening a chest, getting them in bulk, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm going to put this here for a moment. because I'm going to make that interactive.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah,
Into a gate. How many items in a chest?
depends on the chest. Depends. I would go with 6 for one chest, 12 for another. Or we can do so that it's not the amount of items that you get, it's about the rarity. We can do that as well if we want to.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was thinking we could either fire that into the same gate.
Yeah, if we do it by
distribute that.
number, yeah, we can do it in the same gate. If we do it by rarity, yeah, we're gonna need a different gate. So space-wise, it's better to do it with more items.
And then what level items can be found?
Well, this was depending on, again, the level of the chest, but I would give level 1, maybe level 3 at most, rarely.
Nice, so we could create some odds for that.
Yeah, I would do...
I would say it's got to be 3 times more likely to get a level 2. Or maybe slightly more, 4 times more likely, and then 4 times more likely to get a level 1.
Seems fair. I would personally reduce a bit the chance of a level 1, I guess. Maybe 12 or something.
8? Oh, we could do 12.
10? Compromise on 10?
Done. So now if I fire one of those through, another one. So 2 of those produce level 4. Nice. And then I've got 12.
Yeah, this is way more, this just is way more helpful.
Yeah. Well, there's 1 in 15 chance of receiving a level 3. So we've got a couple of level 5s. But here's our bit of, this is, I mean, that's 90% of the merge game mechanic right there.
Yeah, that's kind of it. Obviously, space management is one thing, so we want to implement that capacity, right? So when they are out of spots, they cannot receive items anymore.
So I'm going to put 50 squares.
Do 49, so it's 7 times 7. My eyes are burning, sorry. Okay.
Oh. Nice. So here I've got another A coming in from here, which is counting how many resources. So as a formula, I'm going to say smaller with a lowercase s, A than B.
Yeah, I would do smaller equal because you can reach maximum capacity. Actually, no, because if you reach maximum capacity, there's no way you get new items. So, yeah, smaller is correct. Yeah.
And that's whenever it's lower, it's just going to return the value true.
Yeah, well, with just one item, it's always going to be lower. We're never going to run out of space because you're always going to merge. So
that's true.
Unless the player wants to hold some items and doesn't want to merge them immediately, which can be the case sometimes, depending on the quest you receive. There's no, we're in no real danger of ever reaching the limit. So I think from a mathematical point of view, it's actually impossible.
Yeah, because we've got 8 pools, which would have maximum of 2 in, so that would be
I mean,
16.
unless we get 40 level 9s, which we aren't gonna get anytime soon.
That's true. So, are we ready to scale it? What have we forgotten to do before we scale this?
I'm sure we'll remember once we scale it.
I know
But
what we've forgotten to do, Cesar.
yeah, what?
Make it really pretty colours.
Yeah,
So
we
I'm
can.
going
Yeah.
to make that section our leveling up system. I like a blue. So I'm going to put all of our experience items as blue. I'm going to make this first item. Don't know what colour do you fancy?
Green, some dark green.
Dark green, like that.
Yeah.
Our chest system. Little top tip for you if you're doing this. If you highlight all of to the end of the resource connection, but not the object, you can change those really easily. So it selects all of those. Same where I have these state connections going in. I'm going to make those green. Did I actually make that green? No, I didn't.
You didn't. It doesn't work like that. I applaud what you tried to do, but it doesn't. You need to find the. Yeah. That's one way to do it.
There we go.
And I guess there's nothing left for the item itself. Like, I don't think there's anything going on with the items. You just merge them and that's it. You don't really. The thing with, for instance, merge mansion, those chests that I talk about where you receive materials from, those chests are actually some generators, sort of, that generate resources when you click on them, right? And you can merge those generators into better generators.
Oh, yeah. How many different types of objects are we going to have?
I wouldn't do too many.
4?
Yeah, four is fine.
Nice.
To be honest, in merge mansion, the ones that were needed for quests were, as far as I got, which isn't far, obviously, were 3 different items. So
So here I'm going to do A plus B plus C plus F. There. So we've got those counting. We need to give them some resources. So I'm going to move these little fellas to there. Is it the same chest each time?
not really. I mean, it's our game. We can do it whatever way we want. Usually, it's a chest that gives a certain type, right? So one chest gives only item 1 of different rarity. One chest gives only item 2 of different rarity, and so on. But again, we can do it however we want. So,
what do you feel like?
I like the idea of having one chest for one type of item, because then you know which ones you want to invest in, which ones you try to merge, which ones you use more often. I don't like the idea of tapping on a chest and you can receive one of 100 possible outcomes.
That's
so
true.
I vote in favor of chests for every individual item.
So I'm going to change the color of that, so that it's clear that this belongs to this item 1. Item 1 type. Item type 1 might be make more sense. Let's make some more of these.
I started from the bottom up.
Oh, well done. I should have copied that area as well when I copied the rest.
It's too late for regrets now. We move forward. Not here. Here. So we're gonna have what are the ratios? 10 for 1. Okay.
That's right, 10 for 1.
10 for 1. You see, the difficulty in making a merge game is kind of more on the working aspect of it, so you have to drag connections around. But in terms of thinking, it's pretty straightforward because the core gameplay is pretty basic.
So we've got our 4 item types. They're all being counted up to see what's available. Next thing is when do chests get opened?
Well, when you want to open them, because that's pretty important player decision, because you're gonna clutter your board, right? So you only open a chest when you need, you tap on it when you need items of a certain type. Come on, I see you're hovering over the player loop. Yeah.
Well, I know we're going to have one. We might as well kick this off now. So anyone that's been watching any of our streams will be very familiar with this little mechanic. I think we've pretty much started using it on every model we're building these days. It's got a on start. I always make this a pretty color just to differentiate the resource. I'll zoom in a bit and show you what's going on here. So at the start, okay, one resource comes into a random gate. We then have 4 different options available, all with equal odds to start off with. And I use this to represent different types of player choice. And from here, it starts to kind of become a way of kind of controlling what the player is going to be doing. Is the player going to be upgrading items? In this case, would they be opening chests? Will they be merging things? Will they be spending experience points? So I'm going to start putting some labels on. I'm going to call this merge. Or marge.
Or marge, yeah.
Open chest. Get experience.
Yeah, get experience is fine. I was thinking about merge, because if there's an action for the player to merge and he does not do so automatically, you realize that we're gonna need state connections into every converter.
Yeah, maybe we don't need a merge because that's kind of automatic. But I think open
chest and get experience is fine. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure there'll be quests at some point.
Yeah. We can do fulfill quests or finish quests or quests. It's gonna be that.
Nice. So when do they go to the open chests? And I guess, do we need multiple open chests for different types?
As I said, if for instance you get a quest that you need a level 4 item 1, you're gonna start spamming the chest for item 1. The way it works is usually you can open the chest or the toolbox or whatever it's called, but you can only tap on it for a limited number of times and then it gets a cooldown, right? So that's kind of the way it goes. You tap on it, let's say 10 times, it gives you 10 different item ones of different quality, and after that there's a cooldown and you cannot tap on it for, I don't know, 30 minutes or something.
Okay. So we need some timers associated with these chests.
Only, yeah, if we want to be granular and include the time aspect, then yes. If we don't want to include the time aspect, then not necessary.
Just trying to think how to.
I'm thinking as well.
I got this. I've got this.
I believe in you.
Haven't quite worked all of it out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these interactive for a moment. So what I'm going to have is here some kind of mechanic that builds this up. I've given this a capacity of 5. So once that gets 5, it won't receive any more. See, it's flashing, it's not going to allow any more in. Then when I click on this one, got a capacity of 5, it's pushing that over into this pool, which is then opening it. So then we just need some kind of mechanic to trigger that source. And it works like a dream.
So the pushing pool is basically the number of taps that you have until you get cooldown, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I get it now.
So we could then have different levels of these. I'm going to make that passive again, make that passive. Hit reset. So that this is then controlling how many they've got. We've got up to 5, because 5 sounds like a great number.
Yeah, that's up to us anyway, so 5 is fine.
So I'm going to do 5, and then also here I'm going to do one as well. For the large chest, I'm going to make these. Oops. Quick stake.
Just so you know what happened there, Matthew wanted to double click a pool so that it automatically connects, but he didn't have a pool selected. When you double click a node, it automatically places it on the canvas. I believe it does so on the center of the canvas, so we just placed a pool for him in the center, which for us is a mile away.
Yeah, what I meant to do was this.
Yeah,
and instead I did that.
Yeah. So this is going to be the number of taps.
So you can, if you wait for a period of time in that idle game style, you can build up to 5 of the small chests and 2 of the big chests. I'm gonna make that push any. Both passive. You then just need to decide how's the player gonna decide when they trigger this. And call that 5, put that 5 and 2. But now I'm going to do this quite a simple way, which is just say that.
Yeah. The player is not playing for a while.
Yeah, so I'm going to call that leave for 8 hours. And now I'm going to add 4 more pools into this. I like to cheat and make sure my spacing is perfect. So what I'll do is I'll grab a pool, hold down Control, double click my pools to add them in there. I'm going to add this in to this. I'm then going to call this add open 1 chest, open item 2 chest, open item 3 chest, open item 4 chest. Bet no one saw that coming. Whoop, whoop. Here we go. Add these in. Oh, you're building up the other mechanics for the open chest. Thanks, Chesa.
I'm doing grunt work today.
Oh, this is good. I'm doing the good stuff. You're doing the grunt work.
Yeah. It's not so bad. I can get used to this.
Ah, it's role reversal, Chesa. I have to open a window in a minute. It's getting hot here. Feel bad saying that to people sitting around in 30-degree heat. So there we go. So I'm then gonna trigger. Oh, what have I done there? I moved that a bit.
You do you. So what do we have here?
Yes, I didn't say whether or not it was going to be open small chest or large chest. Or maybe it's just if you're opening that, you're opening that. And it doesn't matter.
Well, you can do a random gate between them with a 50-50 in both of them.
Oh, good idea.
Figure that. And that will essentially mean that you open one of the two. And yeah, that's fine.
We're doing good for time as well.
Kinda good, right? Yeah. I just took out the guides and the grid to place those better, so it's gonna be utter chaos now.
I think it was utter chaos before.
Yeah. It was utter chaos, but kind of limited in a way. We were confined a bit by the grid, but now the shackles are off. Thank you, Jonathan. It does require great teamwork to make models like this, especially in a short time.
It's always a pleasure building models with you, Chesa.
It's always a pleasure dealing with you as well. You might think we are talking just out of politeness now, but it is actually two heads always think better than one. So it is a great help when you're building these models with someone else. Oftentimes they will see something that you don't, and the other way around. So it cuts down the time you spend building a model significantly. And I think that's fine, right? So we have triggers into all of them. They're 50/50s. Yeah, should be.
Triggers here. So just in the formula, just the star there, that means trigger. We're going to make sure. Oh, yeah. So we've got this passive sources set up with a trigger. So if the player leaves for 8 hours, it's going to fill up their chests. We could go way more granular, and we could start playing around with if they're how long they go for. They could refill during play. There's lots of things we could do there. Just going to keep it fairly simple today, I think.
Yeah.
So let's have a look, see what we've got going on now. Player left. Player left again. Doesn't matter if they left again. They're trying to do quests. They're trying to do things we haven't wired up yet. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. They've just opened up some chests. They've started getting their items. Oh, I've not wired up my experience randomness.
Oh no.
That's alright. I'm just going to grab this and stick that into this.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that big of a. Not much work to do here. I'm gonna delete the gates.
Right. There we go. So
yeah.
I'm going to just remove some of these options from my player path. I'm going to make this all a pretty red colour. In my player path, we've got no option there, so I'm just going to make that 0. So it has 0 odds of it going down that route. Get experience and make 0.
Can you zoom in so everyone can see the routes?
Yeah.
Exactly what we're disabling. So we're disabling get experience, quests, the second pool, which is nothing yet. So there's no point to it. And we're leaving them with the option of going away and opening chests.
Perfect. So now actually, they don't do anything until they've left at 8 hours, and that's probably a bit of a silly mechanic. We should probably have them doing something.
Oh, they don't have no. Well, obviously they start with. Usually, you start with a bunch of items, and you start with some generators.
Well, this might be a fun opportunity to talk about the player onboarding experience, because we probably don't want a player to come in and start off with all of the different type of items immediately from level 1.
Yeah, they don't. They don't.
Yeah, so what we probably want to do is think about our quest, and our quest would probably be I'm going to create a I'm going to just call this quests. Quest 1 is just going to quest 1, 2, and 3. It's just going to involve the first item.
Fair enough.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have something coming from here to say that's only available if quests are greater than 3. Going to have a couple of levels of 2 items.
Then I'm going to name the pool completed quests.
Oh, nice. Going to call that greater than 6. And then this one greater than 7. No, greater than 12. So you go past a couple of levels then you can open up second items, then you can open up third items, then the fourth items by quest 12.
Yep. That's
When I
fine.
hit play now, they get grayed out.
Yes.
So the only available options are leave for 8 hours and open item 1 chests.
And now it's time to also designate some quests, right? Because we don't have any. I see we have an empty pool on the right side named quests.
Well, we've got one in our player path. We've got one up here for quests,
Yeah.
quests, and then way over here, I dumped a random pool that said quests.
That's a placeholder for the quest system.
Yeah.
Yeah. So quests should be. We want to think now. What we want to think is if we want to generate them randomly, right? So it's gonna be a. You don't know what type of quest you're gonna get. Or...
No, I think that's deterministic. We're going to fix, but certainly for the first 12 levels, what the quests are. And so, like, the first quest is going to be something really simple, like create
a level 3 item.
item.
Yeah, I agree.
Or a level 4, because there is a random chance that you could receive a level 3 in a chest. Maybe we should make it get a level 4 item.
Sure. Yeah, and we can do. I'm thinking if we need to look at each quest. I'm thinking if we need to look at each quest individually right now.
Yeah.
Because it feels like we're gonna have a system where when you reach a level, let's say the quest is level 4 item. So you receive a level 4 item, you receive a resource in the pool. That pool is gonna trigger a source or a pool or another pool that basically tells you if the quest is completed or not, because it's only going to happen one time. That's how I'm thinking about it. So basically a system kind of like if you would zoom in on where level 4 is, a system kind of like I have a pool in here, another pool, and this is going to be push and it's going to have one resource in it. Basically when you do reach level 4, I'm gonna trigger it, and this one on the left is basically gonna mean quest complete. So that way you don't trigger it more than once, right? That's kind of how I'm picturing it.
Yes, but we need to drain down one level 4 item.
Yes, you're right.
I guess what you've got here is when a resource comes into level 4, this is going to trigger this pool, which has got one resource in it, and it's a push. So it's going to push it over to here, and it's going to say quest complete.
Yeah, it can also trigger a drain at the same time, right? Or we can do it something like the drain is automatic. I'm using the space inefficiently, but whatever. And it's only available when the quest is available, right? Once the quest is no longer available, you're not going to drain it anymore. Something like that. Makes sense?
Yeah, I think you're making it overly complicated.
I probably am. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna delete all this. I don't like it. Don't like it.
Yeah, sure. If you have
I've got a genius plan.
I always like those.
Because actually, this is where I'm going to send that one resource into completed quests. So that's what's going to tick the level up. And the quest is almost always going to be pull one resource in somehow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a gate here. It's going to fire this into one. You'll like this a lot, Chesa. It's genius. So I'm going to pull one resource connection from level 4 into the gate.
Okay.
Then here, I'm going to use the formula on completed quests. I'm just going to start off by calling that quest.
Okay.
Then this time I'm going to pull it in from here. This is going to be equals or equal quest to 0 multiplied by
Where's the second connection coming from? The one on the right?
The level 4 pool.
I see. You don't really need to, if you're gonna condition the gate with it. Is that what you wanna do? You wanna condition the gate with it?
Yeah.
Then you don't need to check for the level, right? You can make it automatic, and once you complete the quest is never gonna be 0 again, so the gate is never gonna be available again.
That's true. So make that automatic?
Yeah, and you can remove the whole level 4 logic. It's not needed. On the register, so the formula doesn't need to... I'll edit it.
Oh, no, wait, because there's more to it. There's more to it. Hold on.
Yeah.
Because then we've got complete quests. So I'm then actually going to use this to complete quests.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I'm going to give it, we're using whole numbers here rather than percentages. So I'm going to give it 10. And it's only going to be available when those two are there.
Then that's fine. Yeah.
Complete quests is then going to trigger this gate. So actually I am going to put another one in here which is greater than 0 as well. So it's not available. Our player's going to go around. You know what? I just need to put some resources in these. Start off with. Give the player a head start. So when our player's coming in, they're going to opening some chests. They're merging stuff together. We've got level 3. We've got 2 level 3. Need 1 more level 3.
I was so close.
Sacrifice. Here it comes. So now they fired that. The resources come along. They selected complete quests. They triggered the gate. They completed the quest. They're on to the next quest. Boom. How's that for a slice of fried gold, Cesar?
It is nice, but how are you gonna scale it?
I don't know. I hadn't thought that far ahead.
It's a working solution and it's a good one, but it's again it's gonna take space. Yeah.
Right. So then, what should we make the level?
Level 5. We shouldn't go too far. 1 level 5 is enough, and 1 level 6 is enough. After that, I think it's. And once we open more items, we can do combinations, but I'm not sure if we're gonna do those today.
Well, we've got 14 minutes. Let's do the level 5. So trying to think about
thinking of how to scale it. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
thinking as well.
So we could do basically.
We can use the same register. It's just gonna be a very big formula, which I guess is better than having 15 different registers.
Well, the formula is then going to be something. Well, actually, I can do the formula for it. The formula is easy because actually it's that, and then it's so I just
Quest 1.
a copy paste there. So the first level is quest is 0,
Yes.
and A is larger than 0 plus, and the plus basically makes it an OR gate.
Exactly.
So we've then got quest when quest equals 1, and B
Exactly.
is larger than 0. And
Yep.
B, we're going to create from level 5 item.
Yeah.
Into here.
Yeah, it actually scales quite easily.
And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that, rather than greater than 0, I'm going to make that equals 1. And then in this formula, I'm going to wrap all of that second one in a extra set of parentheses and do times 2.
I see you want to give them weights. I see. Yeah, good call. So the reason Matthew is doing this, since the comparison functions are always going to be 0 or 1, right? They're Boolean values. He wants to keep track of when quest 1 is completed and when quest 2 is completed. So not just the fact that the quest is being completed, he wants to know which quest is being completed, so he can properly track them. So that's why he gives quest 2 a weight of 2. So he's multiplying the result by 2. So whenever it's going to be true, it's going to be 2 instead of 1. So he knows now in the register that if he has a 1, quest 1 was completed, and if he has a 2 in the register, then quest 2 was completed. And he can trigger the appropriate gate, because now with the conditions of equal to 1 and equal to 2, the appropriate gates will become available when the quests are completed.
Nice. So there we go. So we've got level 1's just been completed. Players still opening chests. Oh, it's close.
Yeah. Now the next time they're going to get the level 4 item, which they already have, as you see, they're not completing the quest. It's no longer available. They are going to complete the level 5 one now.
So there goes level 5. That's available. Yeah. Players completed it on level 3. Exactly. I mean, I don't mean to brag, Cesar, but that's pretty brilliant.
It was pretty good. Yeah, it is pretty good. I don't want to talk about how we should arrange the model from now, because there's going to be a lot of gates in there. But honestly, as a fighter that's getting beaten up, I'm glad that the bell's about to ring soon.
Well, this is fairly nice. This then just becomes a matter of just scaling this. Right?
Exactly.
So we've got level 1, level 2, and we could just carry on scaling that almost infinitely to as many levels as we wanted based off of the completed quests each time, and pulling in different letters from whatever we want to make the next mission.
Yeah, some missions quest. Now we're gonna talk in hypothetics here, but some missions can be having two different items, like having a level 4 item 1 and a level 5 item 2. You can use them.
Well, let's do that for our next mission, and let's show how we could build that.
Yeah. Well.
But yeah, sure. We say that our item
2 gets unlocked after completing 4 missions actually, because it's greater than 3.
Well, let's change that then, and let's make it greater than 2.
Actually, make it greater than 1. So
greater than 1.
Yeah.
You're a genius. And so then let's make this next one going to be
level 4 item 1, level 4 item 2. or level 5 item 1, level 4 item 2.
I like that. So what I'm going to do now, let me zoom in. I'm going to take my formula block here, which is equal blah, 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 blah. Actually, I'm going to use the second one here just because it's got everything in it I want. I'm going to copy that. Plus, let's make that again. So now quest is going to be 2.
Yep, and we're going to have a C. And we're also going to have a D, because we're going to need 2 different ones.
Hang on, no we're not. We're going to have a... we're going to make it a level 5 or a level 4 item 1.
Oh, yeah, you can use the B, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can use the B, exactly, because that's tracking a level 5 item 1.
So that's already tracking a level 5. I should probably be sensible and make this even easier somehow, but I've
No, it's fine.
Myself to it now. And this also we then need to do larger, and this will be C than 0.
Yeah, you wait an R at the end.
Oh, yes. And that is going to be times by 3.
Yes.
So there's my formula for it. So now we're looking at the quest completed has got to be 3. Sorry, it's got to be 2 because we've completed 2 so far. It's going to have that item. And what's the other item we're going to have? We're going to have item 2.
Item 2, level 4.
I like it. Now this time, rather than having a gate for that and triggering a gate to go and do that action, I'm going to trigger a converter.
Yeah, because we're getting to we can use yeah, no, converter.
This is not the greatest layout I've done.
Yeah, it wasn't planned beforehand, so
then I'm going to grab a resource connection from level 5. Oh, broke it. What have I done there?
I have no idea. Why not just undo? Why do you drag it all the way?
I don't know, I'm just a neat freak.
I'm not sure how the connection is gonna look. I'm just gonna wait for you to see how you make it.
Me using the wrong stuff. Alright, line that up so it's somewhat pretty. And then I guess we need one from level 4. Have you done that? Have you? Oh, thanks.
Yes.
So then for this, I'm then going to grab another state connection up to the top there, and I'm going to call it equal 3. And a trigger from here into here. It's going to trigger that. And of course, the all essential pull.
Exactly.
So let's see what we've got. Our players going through, opening item 1 chests, gradually leveling those up. They've completed the first one, and now going through looking for the second one. Oh, you know what? I'm going to change this for now, and I'm just going to make leave for 8 hours. I guess we need to count how many chests they've got. No, I'll leave it like this for now, because we've got 3 minutes left. And what I was then going to do is put some logic around whether or not a player's likely to leave. So just make it a smaller odd that maybe gradually increases as they run out of chests.
Yeah,
If they have no chests, they leave. Or we could then look at a purchase mechanic so they could buy extra chests. We could play about with that all day long. Play about with it a bit.
They finished the first quest.
Finish the first quest. Nice. What I need to do is grab this link, and I'm going to pop that into the description below, so that if you want to have a play about this and carry on extending this, what we're going to do, we're going to go away and carry on playing with this mechanic and build on it some more. We're actually going to use it, I think, unless Cesar decides he wants to build it again, we're going to use this as part of our discussion in our upcoming webinar that will be announced shortly, as soon as we've worked out exactly what we're going to do. But this has been really good fun chatting with you all today. I'm going to drop some instructions on our other social channels into the stream somehow.
Thank you, Jonathan, for joining us and for being active on the chat.
Lovely to see you around.
And it's glad to hear that there are other people suffering from heat as well. It's nice to hear.
I'll drop the links into the description. In fact, I think the links to our Slack and Discord are already there, so do come and say hello to us. And
they are here, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. And thank you very much. It's been lots of fun. Oh, look, and we've completed level 3. So what we could do is we can then show in charts, because I always love to get to a quick play by the end of a live stream, just in time, bang on time. Live, doing a quick play to show which level the player's getting to at which point. Look at that.
Yeah, the first two are pretty fast. The third one, you see, took about 60 steps, a bit less.
Nice. And I'm going to put an end condition in there when that equals 3. Brilliant. Quite a good model. How many objects have we got here? 486. 486 objects in an hour and a half. That's good going. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Hopefully we'll see you again soon.